we are going into season 4 of Siesta Key. So you got to tell us, what can we expect from this season? It seems dramatic, like every other season, but it seems especially dramatic this time around.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy season. So you kind of see a shift from our problems that kind of revolved around like partying and, petty relationships and hookups and like all that kind of stuff. And now our problems are revolving around like businesses and family and like serious issues that people can relate to. And it's just kind of like, you see us growing up and growing into who we want to be and like the type of people we're surrounded by and all that stuff. It kind of like comes into play with like us becoming adults. So it's definitely like you see us just changing from, the kids we used to be and becoming just, adults, I guess.
Was that hard for you to film a more like serious kind of storyline this season?
Every season's kind of hard for me because I feel like I'm very vulnerable and I kind of put myself out there. But it was definitely hard. I try to be as open as possible when I'm filming because I think that's what makes our show so special, so relatable. And you see, stuff about my relationship and my insecurities and me struggling with my new business. I just started a bikini line called JMP The Label. And, as much as I would like to say it was super easy and like, I just like created a swimsuit, like, no, it's hard. And you see me struggle with that. Also friendships are a serious issue this season for me. I think it's a lot about, the girls this season and their problems and their issues. So it's going to be crazy.
Which you have to tell us a little bit more about, because in the teaser, your former roommate, your ex-BFF, Kelsey, you guys seem to have it even more going on between the two, and you end up calling her your enemy. So what got you to that point?
Yeah, so I guess at the end of season 3B, I had problems with Kelsey because, like you said, she was my best friend, my roommate, and she kind of got in between my relationship with my boyfriend, Sam. And that was in the beginning of our relationship. And she kind of pulled him aside without me there and said some pretty hurtful things, like I'm using him. I don't really like him. I'm still in love with my ex. And those things kind of really hurt me. But, a lot of these feelings between her and I were really bottled up. And you see us work through this throughout the season and things kind of escalate. And it hits the fan, I guess you could say.
So can you tell us anything about your relationship now? Like, were you able to put all of that stuff behind you guys? Because you were really good friends.
Yeah, so the tension between Kelsey and I is really, really bad this season. I think we both wanted to be good people and mend our relationship, but we just couldn't find it within ourselves to really do so. And it was really hard. Like we wanted to be around each other for the sake of our friend group. But I think, even still today, there's like a lot of underlying issues we need to work through. And you see how everything happens this season between us, and it gets pretty rough because as much as I want to be a woman that empowers other women, like sometimes we have our setbacks and we're not the person that we want to be, and we don't say the things we necessarily mean or want to say out loud. So I think a lot of things like that happen between us, and it all stems from issues within and, all stuff like that. So you see between her and I a lot of conflict.
And you mentioned that, it kind of started when she was trying to get in the middle of you and your new boyfriend, Sam. Mm-hmm. Has that affected your relationship? Because from viewers, it looks like you guys are in bliss. Right.
So that's something that I kind of struggle with. And I struggle that with Kelsey, with her, once that happened between her and I and my boyfriend, we kind of tried to put everything under the rug and pretend it didn't happen. But like those feelings of heartbreak and betrayal for me were still there. And, she claimed she apologized and it wasn't enough for me, and it wasn't genuine enough for me. And I think you kind of see this season, like things really, like I said, they come to the surface, and we try to work through them. But sometimes you either have to take a step back from friendships, or, you just never go back to being friends. Some things are irreparable.
Right. So what about your relationship with Sam? Where are you guys today?
Luckily he took everything she said with a grain of salt, because I think it came from a bad place, and he kind of saw that. So we have been dating for a year now, and we're very happy, and we're in love and things are really good, but it's not all perfect. We definitely have some issues between other girls that come around and other exes and, all that kind of stuff. So it's not always great. Friends get in the way. That's how life is down here in Siesta Key.
It's always dramatic. Like
Mm-hmm.
always something going on. But didn't you guys recently move in together?
You're going to have to wait and see.
Okay. A nice tease. We love a good tease. But I do also need to talk about Chloe. She announced back in January that she wanted to distance herself from the group, from this reality show. And it kind of seems that she announced that she was also leaving in this season based on the teaser. So what can you tell us about that? Were you surprised?
So Chloe's been going through a lot over the last year. Some serious things happened in her life. She was in a really long relationship that ended, and she kind of took a look at herself and she wasn't happy with what she saw. She wanted to change her lifestyle, her health, a lot of things, and that involved her taking herself out of situations that she didn't seem fit for her health. And that, with the show, as you can see, like things can be really stressful and dramatic. So you see her work through that this season, and her struggles and where she wants to go with her life and who she wants to be, and whether that involves the show or not. So it's very interesting to watch.
But I would imagine as her friend, you're supporting her decision, or were you kind of like, no, take a step back, like think about this before you make
Yeah, I definitely did that with her a lot. And, I love Chloe, I support her, but sometimes she can be very set in stone with her decisions. And I don't always think that's the best idea. Like sometimes she jumps the gun, and I'm more of like a thinker, at least I strive to be, because I've seen the lashback when it comes to like being too impulsive. And so I try to be supportive, but sometimes Chloe, if she makes her mind up, there's no telling her otherwise.
Okay, well, before I let you go, describe this upcoming season, season 4, in just one word.
One word: messy.